Okay, so today I'm here with Vivi Thidalapat. And Vivi is, I'm going to start that one again. I had to just check myself. Is that right? Thidalapat, yeah?
Yeah.
Thidalapat.
Anything's fine. They'll know Vivi, so the rest is fine.
Cool. All right. Okay, so today we're here with Vivi Thidalapat. She's a psychotherapist in family relationships and parent and child relationships. And she's been in the business for over 18 years, where she's seen over 10,000 families, enabling them to transform their children's behavior without having a therapist in between. And she's also the founder of the Thai NLP Association and the Life Lab Academy, where she teaches all the four modalities of NLP, timeline therapy, hypnosis, and coaching. Vivi, welcome.
Thank you. I'm honored, Mark. Thank you for having me today.
It's a great honor for me as well, Vivi. I have nothing but respect for the things that you do and the things we talked about. And I thought it'd be great to tell other people and show other people your side of the world. So 10,000 families, 18 years. What on earth made you get into that?
I think I started since I was 15, and I got into the training industry, or doing seminars and running meetings. And then I realized that everybody's running outside. They're running away from their family. So I started the idea that I'm going to be a tutor. At first, I didn't know there was a therapist existing in this world when I was 15. So I started out as a tutor. I tutor children after school, and I teach them to know how to talk to their parents and know how to negotiate with their parents of what they want and what they want to do in life, in conjunction with whatever the parents have in mind. So I started out that way. I did it all along until I went over to Australia to do my master's degree. I stopped for like a few years and then got back into it once I got back to Thailand. It's a wonderful experience to say. It's like you see people grow up like right in front of you, and they know what to do and they know how they could communicate between each other without having somebody else being there as an arbitrator and trying to negotiate for everybody. Whereas the relationship in the house or in the family should be the most important thing in life. And it will actually support all the growth that anybody has, even for me now.
Absolutely. Wonderful. So what brought you towards the NLP side of things? There you were doing the work already effectively. How did you arrive at this doorstep?
Well, we all need more tools. It's like, I look at life, even though we grow and we evolve, to make it very, very easy. When I talk to children, I tell them that they all play video games, they all play mobile games, they play computer games, and all of that is exactly like life. So they will go through barriers, they will go through objections, they will go through levels, and they climb those levels, and it gets harder and harder. And there are rules, and there are specific rules that adds on to every day and every part that they keep on going. So it's like, once you get into this game of life, you didn't know the rules. You never knew the rules. You start looking at people, you start looking at your parents, and you copy what they do because you thought that was the rule. But it doesn't work that way all the time. There were no 5Gs or 4Gs or Wi-Fis when my parents were very young. So once you get into this world, you start copying the rules and you copy the tools as well. And then you start living life and you realize that things aren't as you expected it to be. So once you get into different levels of the game, you want more tools. Me too. So I got into the point that I start to get curious, like, can this be faster? Can I do things faster? Can I support more families? Can I do this in a better, bigger way? That's where went into search, and I found hypnosis before NLP. So I got into hypnosis. It led me to NLP, and where I am now with you.
Great. And so what did it bring to the table that you didn't have before?
With NLP and like with all the 4 modalities that you've mentioned, it gave me the ability to clear my mind before I ask any question. That's number one. So I look at everything as a big picture, and I stopped being judgmental. Like I could literally stop thinking. So I hear everything and I bundle it up as this person. This is all the information about this person, this family. And then I realize there are different dimensions that they have in their whole information lot that they threw on me. Then I start asking them questions for them to be able to see those dimensions, which this never happened before in NLP.
So if I'm understanding you right, you're becoming aware of patterns in their lives that they're currently not aware of, and then helping them to bring that into their awareness, which I suspect leads to growth.
Perfect. That was perfectly put together.
Absolutely.
I should have said that like 2 minutes ago.
Well, I think you did, but it's kind of if I understand you right. So okay. So what about yourself then? How about your own awareness? How did you grow and expand yourself? Because obviously you're committed and very passionate about the work that you do. You must be clear in your own mind, I guess, that through your own involvement in it, that it's of great benefit to other people as well as yourself. But how about yourself?
Have you heard the word "you heal once you heal"?
Yes.
You start to actually once you do your work, you see your work done, you see the result, and you heal as well. So after NLP, after getting into this field, I clearly know that it's actually my problem that was projected outside. So the things that I was doing and the families that I was seeing that were my issues, my problems. So I think the first year after NLP was like, the first 3 months was this issue. The second 3 months was this issue. And it was like, I started seeing myself. Then once it reflects through my own voice, I hear myself saying it, and then I hear them talking back to me. It loops back, and then it allowed me to be clearer on my journey, on my path, on my presence. And then I go home and I fix it at home too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was actually what happened. But it's like I've told you about this earlier, but it was about me encountering people lately who are pretty, I would say, challenging for me to build rapport. They're not wrong, nothing wrong about them, because everybody has their own history. It was just that the history that they know of wasn't familiar to me. And so once we are in the same team and we actually have to build rapport, we have to work together, we have to deal things, this and that together, we have to do business together. It was really challenging. But then it allowed me to see myself in a different angle. It was like, yes, of course, there's emotion. Who doesn't have emotion? We're still human, to be honest. We're still human. And we still go to the toilet, we still eat, we still talk, we still want to talk about other people, we still want to do things that are wrong, we still want to have McDonald's and stuff. But the challenge that we go through each day actually expands our presence and our awareness every day, because we start to see what we don't like instead of seeing what we like and what we want to do. When we start seeing what we don't like, it's actually a part of us that we don't like ourselves about. It's a projection that's projecting at the same time. So
Yeah.
every time now that I see any family at all, I actually ask myself, is this issue that I'm dealing with, or is this problem that I'm helping them to go through? So mainly I talk to the parents, and I have the parents talk to their child by themselves, because I really don't believe in sitting in front of a therapist in your family or in your home. So I talk to them, and once I hear the issues, I would ask myself, have I been through this? Or is it something that I can fix within myself as well to see them change? So if I change inside, they might be able to change now, as well as go back home and change whatever has been there before. It's a projection to me. So if I've been through it, it's easier because I've just fixed it yesterday. So this is what happened. But I don't use that to judge them, or I don't use that to lead a question on them. Just that I know that it's a projection that's moving outside of me, and I can see something changing outside. Do you know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, we often talk about perception as being actually a projection, which is exactly what you've said. And I know that, I'm encountering myself, my own awareness, my own neurology. I see what I see, I hear what I hear, the thoughts are mine, and so on and so forth. So I know that if I'm looking at, someone who's in whatever way challenging for me to be with, that actually that's just an aspect of myself. And somehow, as you said, I resolve that within myself. So I quite often say to people, instead of, you know, well, if you've got a problem with someone else, then, what needs to happen? It's more like, how do you need to change so that you don't make that person play that part out in your life anymore, which is a different
Exactly.
way around. Yeah, which is liberating, I find.
Yeah, it's actually fun too. It's like you get feedback without asking for feedback. And so when you get feedback, you actually get to grow.
Yeah, it's very satisfying for me personally, and also, if it's all my own perception, and I'm clearing up my own perceptions and my own projections as I go along, then I'm actually growing and changing as a person as well, and that's really helpful for me personally, and that
Yeah.
enables me to want to teach other people as well, and I guess that's why I came and went through the process of learning, so that I could teach other people effectively how to take on board the skills,
Yeah.
and which I've been doing, ever since. So, what was the change point for you that meant, okay, you've learned these skills, it's helping you to do what you're doing even better. There's a leap from that to setting up an NLP academy and teaching other people. So what
Yeah.
was that process for you?
That process for me, literally, I don't know. Like, really, I I I didn't think it was a process at all. It was like, when you, for example, if you sell something, like you had an ice cream and you sell an ice cream, and oh, somebody bought it, so you bought more ice cream, and then you sold more ice cream, and then you start doing it over and over and over again until the point that you actually have to pay tax. So that's when everything started. It's like, it's not like I planned everything out ahead of time. It's like I loved what I do. I still love what I do, and I still want to keep on doing it. And by being in the rules of life, that's one thing that I need to create. It just, it's like I would say, if you're in the presence and you accept the feedback that you receive your whole life, you won't have the question of looking for yourself. Like, what am I? Who am I? Like, what am I good at? What should I be doing? Is this the right job for me? This is gonna just all fade away, because you know yourself and you see the feedback that's coming back to you. You see what people like about you. You see what you're doing well, and you see what you're enjoying. So you keep doing that, and you keep doing it over and over and over again, even though you bump into walls, you bump into roads, like you bump into different things, but you still keep doing it, and things will just fall into place. I think mine happened that way.
Excellent answer. And of course, you know, I found it really interesting what you just said about being in the presence. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? I find that turn of phrase quite curious.
Yeah, well, this is like a paradox. It's like you're in the future, but you're in the present. So it's like what we said before, COVID-19 actually brought the world closer, and it made the world run in a different pace. So if you've heard the word tomorrow is now, I'm going to say tomorrow was yesterday now, because it's so fast that we never actually run after anything anymore, because it's so fast that we just have to stop. And by stopping, you see things running slower, but you see things faster. Do you know what I mean? Like the world runs faster, but because you stop, you see those fastings faster. You catch a lot more, and you're able to process more. So being in the present to me is knowing how I feel, knowing what's inside of me now, knowing what I'm thinking, and knowing how grateful I am to be here, sit here, as well as doing what I want to do for tomorrow. I'm responsible for today, for right now, just so that tomorrow can happen the way I want it to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And even the word responsible for me is the ability to respond, which has to be in the now, you know.
Yes.
And I don't know what it's like for you, but I am interested in knowing. But for me, you see, I have a similar experience, I think, in that now is, as I said to you before we started this recording, now is where it's at for me. I know that there's been a past, and I know that I've existed. And if I choose to go back there and look at what I've been, I know that it will be there for me most of the time. And I make plans for the future, because I plan on having a future. And so, you know, I do that so that I know the steps, but the steps that I can take, I can only take the steps that I take now, and I can only do what's within my grasp right now. And I'm a very big picture person. You know, I think about the development of the world and consciousness and things like that in terms of hundreds of years even. And it fills me with joy, because I think that we're heading in the right direction. And I want to jump up and down and tell other people that that's what's happening.
Yeah,
But
I know.
and in order to get there, I think that what I've had to do is kind of give up trying to pretend to be clever, or to be seen to be something, or because actually right now is where it's at. And for me, it's like the world is moving. Yeah, it's moving fast, but I'm so slow through it all. I seem to have plenty of time to enjoy, to experience, to choose. And like you say, I'm a human being. I fall over like anyone else. You know, I make mistakes, and I do all those things like everyone else does. But the difference is that I'm learning, and I'm ticking things off along the way, and I'm taking up the challenge of encountering my reality with less and less filters over time, including all the stuff that I don't like. And I'm prepared to experience that as well, and to work on it, so that it, you know, resolves over time. And surely over the last, you know, 24, 25 years of doing this, I've got so much benefit out of it that I couldn't possibly want to do anything else. I'm so satisfied with the life.
I like the word choose that you said. It's like, yes, everybody has a plan for tomorrow. I would have to plan for my family as well. There's always a plan. There's always something for tomorrow and the next generation, if you're looking 100 and 200 years after this. But it's, you wake up every day and you choose. You choose again every second what you want to be, what you want to do. And if you don't have a plan at all, it's too broad. It's like you have too many choices that you cannot choose. So once you have a goal or you have a plan for something, you choose within your range. You choose within your grasp, like you said. And I've heard one of my teachers said, take care of the person in your grasp. So if you can actually touch someone around you, that's actually the people you have to take care of, and you plan for the future as well. Not like you want them to be something, or you focus on their future too much that they don't have the choice of their own. But because you choose to be you and you choose to support those people, you choose love every day, you choose to grow every second, it actually expands the world. And that's why you have more time.
It sounds like a win-win to me.
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, within these days, I would say my clients, my students are running after finances, running after names, running after brands, running after a lot of things that has been created by human. And because we are human, we are actually allowed to create other things too. So if you run after things that other people create, you'll never be satisfied because you didn't create those things. The only thing that I believe that people can create is the happiness within themselves, their self-esteem, their time, anything that is in reach of this body, that's theirs. And because you can create anything that's in here, that's the only reason that you can create any other things. So if you focus on yourself, focus on, oh, my hand hurts. What should I do? Oh, I'm taking care of my hand. My hand gets better. My finances hurt. My money hurts. My wallet hurts. Okay, I'm going to take care of my wallet. What do I have to do? What's in this game of life? What's the rules? What are the tools that I can use? And then I focus on these little things around me. You're just going to be satisfied anyhow. That's what I think, like we all can create something. And because our paths cross, our happiness will actually extend to other people as well.
Absolutely. And, you know, by doing the things that you're doing in of itself, that's a good enough example for other people, I guess, to kind of take a fix on and have some sort of comparison with where they are, and to come as far along the journey as they need to fulfill what they are needing to do next. You know, and that's where it's at. Not everyone's maybe a pioneer straight away, but some people, you know, they come right the way through. As I'm sure, you know, I've seen some of your students, excellent examples of people who've taken up the challenge themselves, and they're out there now doing what they're doing. And I guess that must be kind of satisfying for you as well. What's it like knowing that you're releasing these people out into the world to have, you know, to extend the range of influence? In effect, you can teach far more people by teaching people to teach people, can't you?
Yes, that's true. So I guess I have the plan kind of like yours. I see future in different generations and I want things to change. And we work with children, so of course we want them to be the future of the future. So by teaching students and for them doing their job and them being passionate in their lives, I'm very proud. I mean, we eat happiness as food now. So it's like I see those things. I would drop by my students' classes just to say congratulations, just to make sure that they have balloons, they have props for their ceremony, for their, you know, graduation day and stuff, just so that I'm sure that they are still passionate and they want to do it over and over again. I'm there to support, and I didn't really release those people. I didn't build them. They built themselves, and I just shared the tools. And because the tools were powerful enough, they can just grab it and use it.
That's a beautiful reframe on the way that I described it. That's so accurate. Yeah, because this is you doing the best that you can to help other people, because you know that it's so beneficial for yourself that they just have to encounter the tools and use them, and they'll get that benefit themselves. You know, and that's kind of what it's all about, really. And it's
That's
nice
what
that you support
I do.
people. Yeah, absolutely, and to support them afterwards. And I have a, a practitioner practice group and a master practitioner practice group too, and they can phone me up anytime and get a couple of minutes of support along the way to help them, because I want people to be able to ask questions when they want to. It doesn't just end when the course ends and you've had your money now. It's not like that for me. It's much more
Yeah.
integrated into daily living. And why wouldn't I want to help someone who asks me for, what do I think of this or that? Well, of course I'm gonna say something, and I'm sure it's the same for you.
Yeah. Like I would enjoy waking up in the morning. I would have to wake up 2 hours earlier than I normally do just to check my messages and make sure that I get to answer questions that I can, or refer those questions to the people that can answer those questions. And I enjoy seeing people grow through the way they talk, the way they message, the way they use their words, and the way they phrase their life for us. I enjoy that. So yeah, like even though I do Clubhouse, are you on Clubhouse yet?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
am. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually followed you. So even though in Clubhouse where you can't really connect after a room ends, I still say, like, if anything I've said it was beneficial and you've tried, and there's anything that's up in between the weeks that I haven't opened my room. My rooms are on Wednesday and Thursdays, and sorry, it's in Thai, but yeah, if in between the week they have anything that's up and they need anything, just because Clubhouse has a link to personal IG, Instagram. So I always tell them to direct message me, tell me what's going on, ask me any question, let me know what's going on. Or if they can wait, update us in the room next week.
That's fabulous. And I will be putting your contact details alongside with this so that people can get in touch with you via whichever methods are convenient for you as well. Because, if someone's in Thailand, I couldn't recommend higher than you at all. To me, you're the epitome of where it's all about. And a shining example of expertise in motion. You're not just talking about, you're actually being. And that to me is the huge difference, because so many people, I think you said similar before, are chasing things out there. Where does it go? How can I make more money with, what's it? And I'm interested in, where's it coming from? Where am I coming from? Where is it that I'm emerging from, and how can I improve that and to encounter it more and more as time goes by? That's my personal kind of trip. And
That's beautiful. I would
oh,
say, to add on to that, I think it's a cliche when we say we give and we get, but it's actually true.
it is, isn't it? Tell me, if there's people about there, they're listening to this and they're wondering, how the hell do I get onto that? They sound like they're enjoying themselves. What would you say to encourage someone who's not yet currently found themselves on the path, but
I I
would
would
wish them?
say, if you're not fully as in 100% satisfied with where you are, what you're doing, who you are, um, look for a change, because if anything is going to change, there has to be a change before a change happens. So if you're actually looking out for a change, just try on a change. You don't have to just jump in, just try on a change. If you don't like the change, you can always come back to being you anytime. If you're looking for anything, look for NLP, look for hypnosis, look for Mark. Like, he's one of the best guys. You are one of the best guys that I know in this field. And if anybody that speaks English and doesn't speak Thai, I'm definitely going to refer him over. Or if they're in the UK, definitely going to refer them over. And like, you can just try on that change, try it out, be the change for like 1 or 2 days, and then realize if you like it or not. If you don't like it, you can always become you, as in you are now.
Absolutely, that's beautiful. That. And as for yourself in your trainings, have you got anything coming up? How regularly do you teach?
I do, I normally do communication courses, and I do crash courses as in like 30 hours straight. So like 7 p.m. on Friday until roughly about midnight on Saturday. It's like a full hypnosis course. And you wake up Sunday becoming a different person. I do those courses, like we've just done it last week, and I have my NLP practitioner coming up in May. I do all of my trainings are in Thai because I own the copyright in the Thai version. So I do once a year, I would do practitioner and master practitioner in Australia for Thai people living in Australia. And that's why I always see you in Australia.
Great. Yeah. And again, all your details will be on your website, I guess, which will be part of I'll have that in the comment section or whatever, so people can get in touch with you. Beautiful. Last thing, if there was a vision of the future that you would like to see and you could encourage people towards yourself, where do you see the future? Big picture kind of idea.
Of course, it's like being Miss Universe saying, I want to see the world as a beautiful place. I want to see the world as a playground so that everybody can enjoy themselves. And, you know, when you run in the playground, you don't actually, you're not looking to fight. You're asking friends, like, can I play with you? Can I jump in the sandbox with you? Can I cross over and do this and that with you? And then we realize that, oh, that friend has a ball. Let's go play this ball together. Let's move on, and we merge and we serve each other during the time that we're in that playground. I would want the world to look like that. But after all, it's all about, there was a saying, we don't need to help anybody if everybody just help themselves. So if we all are satisfied and happy and fulfilled within ourselves, that's the best hope for this world.
I couldn't agree more. And I think that, you know, one of the quickest ways we can get there is to give people the manual for themselves and let them get on with it and work it out. Because as you said, everyone has it in them anyway. Everyone's doing all the things that we can observe anyway. And it's just about, you know, taking a small amount of time to make changes happen and to just know that anyone can do it. Anyone
can I add on a little bit more? I would say that if we go back to the analogy that I said, life is a game. And if you're seeing that we both are enjoying our lives and you want this, I'm going to say we're playing in a different role. We're playing it with a different tool. So if you're interested, you just need to know the rules and use the tools. And we both have it. If you're speaking Thai, then let me know. If you're there around Mark, why not just give him a call? Seriously.
Thanks. Vivi, it's been my absolute pleasure to speak with you today. And as again, I can't recommend you highly enough. I think that what you're doing is fantastic, and working with children as well is such a window on the future in the now, and it's such wonderful work. And you know, I look forward to speaking with you again in the future. But for now, you know, thank you for taking some time out of your very busy schedule to talk to me today. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I'm really honored. Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Thanks.